And this is The Intro. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. Good to be back with you today. We got another great show. We got Jason Arias.
Nice.
In studio. What is going on, Jason?
Nothing, man. Just glad to be here today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. Hate for it to be a different kind of experience for you.
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to get right into it with your music. I know you brought some music, so we're going to be listening to a little bit of that. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up here, Southern California, boy?
Yeah, I grew up down in Riverside.
Nice.
So I've been there all my life, and I'm pretty much stuck.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So you have family, kinds of relatives out there, I'm sure, since that's where you grew up.
Yeah, I grew up there, and most of my family's out there.
Okay.
So we all kind of grew up together.
Nice. So now you're all the way out here in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, I made the move.
There you go. Fantastic. So you have brothers, sisters?
I have a brother named,
Okay.
his name is Josh, and he lives out in Long Beach.
Okay. Older brother?
Older.
Nice. Was he an influence on you growing up?
Somewhat. I mean, he's more into the movie side. He's actually going to school up the street at the Los Angeles Film School.
He wants to be a director?
Yes. So
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of always kind of helped me build a passion for what I want to do in a way. To see him kind of go out and kind of
Follow his dream.
follow his dreams and do what he has to do. So I mean, if for me to look at him like that is pretty weird, but he's doing what he loves.
Right. No, I think that's fantastic. You have a family member who you admire. That's wonderful. So tell us how you got started making music. Is it something that happened in school, or was it just an activity you did on your own?
It was a performing arts project in high school, and it was me and my cousin, and it was basically compose a song and enter it into a competition. When we made the song, it was finished, but then we found out we had to do musical notation. And, by the time we knew that, deadline was already up, so it was like, well, so much for that. So
Yes.
we didn't enter.
Oh, okay. So it was you and your cousin.
Yes, in the beginning, my cousin Matt.
Okay. And he was a musician, or was it something that you guys just got together and started doing?
He's always been into music. I mean, that dude's a maestro with music. And so I asked him to help me on it because of he had some knowledge.
Yes.
And later on, he kind of went and focused more on school.
Okay.
So now it's just me.
And just you following the dream.
Yeah.
So it was a contest for school. It was a school contest, and what was the prize? Were they going to put it in a play, or was there something, a special, I don't know, yearbook named after you? Or
Honestly, I don't really remember. I mean, it was there's a lot of categories. Music, art, stories. And we never got that far to see what the prize was, so, I mean,
Right.
hard to say.
Oh, okay. So, when did you first feel that this was a path you wanted to take? Was there a song, a movie, something that really inspired you?
Well, I've always been around music since I was little, playing drums and in my local church. I think after we did that project, and it was so fun. I just kept on doing it, and then, I found myself falling in love with it, and here I am.
Playing with the music.
Playing with the music.
So you started playing drums when you were young, like elementary school, or was that in high school as well?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Right.
Okay. How did that start?
Well, basically, it was Matt's dad was playing at the time in our local church, and I would just watch him and just, I don't know, I just fell in love with it. And then, I started picking it up, and then next thing you know it, I'm taking drum classes at the local community college. And then from there, I just kind of went on and built up my own style.
Okay. So it was was he just practicing, or
No, he was playing with the band at the services. So I was like, man, that's awesome.
Fantastic. I love drummers. I think drummers are cream of the crop. I'm a big Ringo guy. When we talk about the Beatles, and everyone talks about Paul and John, I always tell them, Well, I'm a Ringo guy. Because you look at the Who, Brian Moon, Ringo Starr, all these great drummers who are just fantastic. So that's great. I love that you're a drummer.
Thank you.
Hey, so let's get into one of your songs. So tell us the title of this first one.
I believe this one is called Light.
Light. Okay. Was there something? Is there? I know it's just musically based. There's no lyrics. Mm-hmm. Was there something that inspired you to create this one and name it Light?
This one was kind of like a rebirth kind of feel, like just kind of coming out of something new and something fresh. And when I was doing the song, it was like it was a refreshing sound, and so I just kept trying to change it up and kind of convert it with my life, from changing from one situation to another, and that's how the song kind of felt for me.
Hey, fantastic. So here's Jason Arias and his song Light. And that was Light. Fantastic, Jason. I love the sound of that.
Thank you.
So that was just something that inspired you at a particular moment?
Right.
Okay. And what, how do you feel about it now, hearing it live?
Oh, man, it's pretty crazy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. It was great. It was great. Anyway, just want to thank you for being with us. Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. And we have in-studio guest, Jason Arias. And we're going to do, you know what? That's right. Take a quick commercial break. And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. Good to be back with you today. We got another great show. We have Jason Arias in studio. Jason, again, thank you for being with us.
Pleasure to be here, Gus.
All right. I love that last song, Light. And what made you name it just one word instead of like, here is the light, or, you know, there is the light? Was it just something made you think it's just light says it all?
There's just a feeling about it. It had a very positive light, sound to it, and the title Light just made perfect sense with it, and so I had to call it Light.
Simple as that. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Well, we were talking about how you got started. There was an event in high school, and you started off with your cousin, and you weren't able to submit your music for that particular contest. Did you continue working on that particular piece?
No, the way it sounded was simple, but we were totally fine with that because it was simple but effective.
Right.
And so we thought it was perfect how it was, and we just left it like that.
Okay. Have you, obviously this was a few years ago, have you gone back to it recently and thought, well, maybe I'll change it a little bit and use it again?
I think we probably thought about it because I was over like 4 years ago, and so the sound has completely changed, and as well as our music skills.
Right.
So it would be a totally different song if we decided to redo it again.
Okay. Now your music has changed. I know you play drums, you play piano. Like you mentioned, your musical skills have changed. Have you changed? Is that why your music has changed as well?
I believe it is a big part of that, actually. I can hear it from when I started 4 years ago to the past 8 or 10 months. The music's changed completely.
Just because you have felt you've changed and grown and such.
That and personal situations in my life.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So we're able to hear I'd love to hear. We'll have you on again when we get a chance, and you can bring that first song so we can so we can hear your evolution of change. That'd be fantastic to hear. Well, I want to hear another one of your songs, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. And what we're going to do is we can talk about it afterwards, so we can get it in, make sure that we hear it all. Okay. So here is a song by Jason Arias. And that song was named Journey. Am I right?
Right.
All right. And tell us a little bit about that guy. Yeah, obviously, does the name speak for itself? Is it a journey in your mind?
Right. It's just looking back at everything that's been going on and just having it put into one sound.
Right.
Really.
How's that? Now, obviously, it's a journey that you've gone through,
Mhm.
and does it inspire you at different times where you think about it and it gives you strength?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm going through something and I can play it and it just changes the whole perception about everything. And so it's
Fantastic.
very influential on me.
Nice.
And it's different because I made it.
Yes.
So it's different when it's something that you made and has that same effect.
Right. Right. Because you have the moment, the emotion,
Right.
everything. You're putting that into the song,
Right.
so you know what it represents to you. Nice. And that was you in the beginning. Obviously, we talked about you playing piano. That was you playing piano in the beginning, right?
Correct.
How did the song begin? Was it just you playing the piano, or did you have a melody in your head, or how did that go?
I mean, I was just playing piano and, it was a repetitive thing. And then one after another, all these different sounds just kept coming and coming. I started exploring and trying things. And that was the end result, really.
Nice. And now, we just heard it. Does it feel complete to you, or do you hear it and think, well, maybe I'll do this to it, maybe I'll do that to it?
I think it's perfect the way it is. I mean, it has the effect that it has, and it has the emotion that I put into it. I mean, I wouldn't change anything about it.
Right. And Journey, at what point did that become the title? Was that kind of when you were working on it, you think, boy, this is a journey going through this. Hey, it's a journey, perfect name.
I think I titled it halfway between the song was over, because as everything I was putting into it, whether it was piano or strings or whatever it was, it brought up a different situation in my life, and it was just getting through it to the end.
Yes, yes. And right when you finished it, right when you have it the way you have it, you thought, what? Whew. Man, besides being obviously, oh boy, this is done.
Right.
Did you put all your memories, all your thoughts aside and said, I can leave everything here?
At that point, no. I think when I finished it, I just heard it, and it brought back some emotions and memories. I was crying at the end of the song.
Yes,
so,
right.
I mean, it was a very powerful song, and it meant a lot to me when I made it.
Yes, and you can hear it. I mean, when I was listening to it right here, I could feel the emotion behind it, and that's difficult to do some of the times when there is no lyrics, because otherwise you can hear the lyric and the melody and the music kind of follow it.
Right.
But here you just have music,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hear the emotion behind that. Do you go through that with a lot of your songs? When you hear it, do you hear lyrics? Let me rephrase the question. Do you hear your own lyrics through the music, or do you just hear music and feel the emotion?
I just hear music and feel the emotion. I mean, I think if I was to use lyrics, I think it already paints a certain story. And,
Yes.
with the music just being music, it allows you to bring up your own story.
Yes.
Have your own path. So,
Right. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And what do you, in your music, what do you prefer to play? The drums or the piano when you start?
Well, I've strayed away from drums a lot, but I just fell in love with playing piano and be able to come up with something beautiful.
Right, right.
But drums are still there.
Are they? Oh, of course. That's fantastic, of course. Are there, in your like for music, let's switch gears here. What kind of music do you enjoy listening to?
Growing up, I listened to a lot of hip-hop and rap and rock.
Okay.
And now I'm getting older and my mentality's changing. I think it's because of the music. I'm getting more into composing and a lot of that, really.
Okay. Yes. So do you now listen to more instrumental music, or do you still listen to a lot of rock and rap and?
I barely listen to hip hop and rap at all. Rock, have my particular bands, but now it's mostly composer and like the movies. When I
Yes.
go see a movie, I also not only watch the movie, I listen to the music as well.
So you stay for the credits at the end and everything?
A little bit. Sometimes it depends. It depends.
You're just
Really.
looking for the composer's name.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So how's it? Do you see your music being in movies? Is that something that you would aspire to? Or right now is it just that you're making music and see where eventually it will lead you?
I think as the music has kind of progressed, I've seen it going in different paths, and I think movies is one of them.
Okay.
You know, that's something that would be awesome.
Right.
So yeah, movies big time.
Yeah. Do they have an influence on you now when you create a song or you're creating a song? Have you seen a movie where it inspires you and you're like, I would have a perfect song for that, and you would go and create something?
As far as movies, no, but I think composure-wise, yes.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. We're getting to the half hour, so I want to explore that question a little more in our next segment, because it's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of ways you can go with that. But Jason, again, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show, and we have in-studio guest Jason Arias. And we've been talking about his music. He is a great instrumentalist, and you can hear the wonderful emotion that comes through when you hear his music. Well, we have a few more songs of his that we're going to play in our next segment. So you know what we're going to do? A little bit of King, and then right into the show. So you hang in there, and we'll be right back. And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. Good to be back with you today. We got another great show. We have Jason Arias in studio. All right, Jason. Feeling good?
Yeah.
Beautiful day out there, huh?
It is. It's not so hot.
Yeah, no, sunny Southern California on the Sunset Strip. It
Nice.
sounds like a tongue twister, doesn't it?
Yeah.
or a song, or a title of some B movie, right?
Probably.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know what? In our last segment, we've been talking about your music and how you got started. But I asked the question, which was, do you see movies that sometimes inspire you? Because I know Neil Diamond, he saw E.T. Remember the movie E.T., the little alien? He saw that, and he was just so moved by it, he wrote a song called Heartlight back in the 80s, and it became a top 10 seller for him. It was one of his big songs. He had nothing to do with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He just saw the movie, got inspired, and wrote the song. And I asked you a similar question, and you said that you do that, but more along the lines that you hear composers or you hear other music.
Right.
Am I right? And then you write your own music. Has there been a piece that's really moved you, that you said, wow, that song just really touches me? It's about love or loss or something, and you went out using that emotion and wrote your own song?
I think the song that had like the biggest effect on me was Hans Zimmer's Time, and that was in Inception.
Yes.
And that was just a beautiful piece, man.
Yes.
Powerful. I don't think I made a song after that. I was just so lost into the song. I felt like that's the level I would want to be.
Right.
And in my career, as far as putting my emotions into my music.
Yes. Yes. Hans Zimmer. That's great. He's been around a long time, and of course, for everyone else who's over 30 or 35, yes, Hans Zimmer is the one who wrote the theme for Miami Vice. So now everyone knows him.
Good way of thinking about it.
There you go. Hey, that was a great theme song back in the 80s. So that's the level you want to reach, obviously.
Right.
Something like that, something that really touches you.
Mm-hmm.
It is the movies. You did say that it was something that you would like to aspire to. Is that your ultimate goal, or is that just a goal?
That's a goal.
Nice.
The ultimate goal would kind of start performing live and having like my own concerts.
Yes.
And that's just something that is the big one right now, as far as the big goal.
Okay. And yourself on a concert stage, and
Right.
now would it be just you on your piano and drums, or would it be a kind of would you have a band behind you? Have you thought about that?
I think the perfect picture for it was just, me and a symphony behind me.
Beautiful.
And I would probably use some friends that I
Yes.
know I can play with and that would enjoy it too,
Yes.
and help everyone out.
There
So,
you
yeah.
go. So everyone can be involved in
Right.
the creation of the music. And then the people who know you personally, who will be able to tap into the feeling
Mhm.
of your songs.
Right.
Have you, let that lead into another question. Have you collaborated with any of your friends besides your cousin?
No, I think Matt's been the only one so far.
Yes.
But there's a lot of planning going involved, and so I mean, it's gonna happen eventually. I'm hoping.
Right. Of course, yeah, of course it is. And life is a long journey. Yes, yes, pun intended. All right. Well, you know what? We have another song for this segment. Well, why don't we get right into that one? Let's play that one. So here's another song from Jason Arias. And that was Freedom by Jason Arias. So tell us a little bit about that one. How'd you come up with the title for that one? Because you can hear it sounds like it's light, like, you want to be free. Don't cage me in.
I think that was just one of those stages I was going in my life.
Right.
And again, putting everything into the song. And it was at a point where I just felt so bound by everything.
Yes.
And in the song you hear two parts. That's the part that's kind of fast paced, and then it breaks up and goes into something more very powerful. And that was basically my interpretation of being locked up and bounded by all these different emotions, and then breaking away.
Right.
And being free.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah. I know you edit a lot of your own work. I love editing. Editing people are kind of in a strange group. There are some people say, I hate editing, I hate doing it. I enjoy it.
Right.
Because you're able to fine-tune it. You're able to really do a lot. And I can get lost in the editing process besides just the creating process. Are you the same way? Do you enjoy editing, or do you feel, once you got it done, it's perfect, maybe just a little, tinkering here and there, then you got it?
I've started to enjoy editing.
You started to enjoy it?
Because I'm picky with my work now.
Yes.
And it's like, if no one else can hear what I'm hearing, then why am I going to have someone else do it for me?
Yes.
So I'm very picky when I'm working.
Right. Nice. So now you're really getting into it. That's
I'm thinking like an artist now.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because you can really, right, because I think you said it perfectly. If you can't collaborate with someone else who's on the same page with you and hear the same thing, how are they going to edit your music or your movie or whatever else? Exactly, because you have an image in your head, and for you have a sound in your head, right? And so now you're enjoying it. But you grew to enjoy it, right?
Yes, it took a while.
5-10 years so far, but I enjoy it after a cup of coffee and
a few months.
There you go. Hey, fantastic. Jason, again, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Having me.
Absolutely. And, with a sincere thank you for sharing your music and your emotion there. Thank you for doing that. And, I'd like to give a quick shout out. I know you want to, before I do it, I know you want to do it.
Well, real quick, I just want to thank Chris Colt, because without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. He gave me he really lit the fire under me. Fantastic. And he introduced me to Margaret.
Yes.
Margaret Jarrod, who's, I just want to thank her for being so patient for me.
Yes, IMT agency, of course.
And, it's hard to kind of be at a level, but I keep on growing and trying to do the best that I can. And I want to thank them for really being so patient with me.
Yes.
Especially Margaret. Especially.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's fantastic. Always a shout out to everyone who supports us. Hey, Jason, again, thanks for being with us. Thanks again. All right, well, this has been The In Show, and you've been listening to the great music of Jason Arias. And we're going to have a lot more of his music in our next segment. So you hang in there, and we'll be right back. And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. Good to be back with you today. We have in-studio guest, Jason Arias. Hey, Jason. We kind of ran short for our commercial break last time, but I wanted you to give out your contact information, your Facebook and everything. Tell us how everyone can get in contact with you.
Well, if you want to book me or use me for some reason, you can contact my manager, Margaret Jarrod, and her number is 310-760-1082, and her email is int.talent@gmail.com. My personal email is focusedmusic, FOCUSED, music@hotmail.com, and you can find me on soundclick.com, Focused Music, and ReverbNation.com, Focused Music.
Nice. I know you're on Facebook and all that. Of course, you can go to theinshow.com. You can visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those great social media sites, and you can get the link to Jason and everyone else that we've had on the show. All right. Well, Jason, we got another song, don't we? We got one more for our last segment. So, what's the title of this one?
This one is 3311.
3311.
And
yes.
this is a dedication song to my son and my grandfather. And 3311 symbolizes the year that they were born in.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, dun. I love it. I love it. All right. So here's our last song from Jason Arias. And we'll dedicate it to his grandfather and his son. And it's titled 3311. And that was Jason Arias with 3311. And we dedicated that to your grandfather and your son. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you are welcome. You're welcome. It's was it an easy piece to compose since you were thinking about your grandfather and son?
I think it was more on the harder side because I was trying to find that sound that I can really tap in instead of just putting something down.
Yes.
It was a special song, so I think that it had to be extra special, and I had to be extra careful with it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Beyond just getting emotion, you wanted to really impart from it the love that you have.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Made with love.
Made with love. That's right. So they know that that it came from someone that loved them. Do you have? Oh, I'm sure you probably do. I was going to say love songs. Just music. Something that's just inspired for love for someone else. Besides you're obviously that was from your grandfather.
Actually.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't bring it though, but.
Yeah, we got to get that next time with your original little piece with your cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the title of that one?
With All My Heart.
With All My Heart.
Yeah, that was pretty creative little song there.
Was
Made
it?
that a few years ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard it recently? Again?
I think a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Anything you would want to change about it? You think, maybe I'll tweak it here, or is it perfect the way it is?
I would probably redo it differently. And make it more powerful.
Yeah, a little more dynamic.
Right.
Okay. Nice.
But for right now, it's fine the way it is.
Yes. Well, that's something you got to bring next time you come back, so we can hear those songs and see what. See, it just takes 4 little songs to really get your music out there.
Nice.
Yeah. So you know what? We only got a few minutes left. Why don't you give out your contact information again, so everyone knows where to get hold of your music.
Well, again, my manager for booking is Margaret Gerald, and her number is 310-760-1082, and you can reach her at int.talent@gmail.com. My personal email is focusedmusic@hotmail.com, and soundclick.com, focused music, and reverbnation.com for focused music.
Nice. And of course, you can get hold of you through the In Show. You can find out all our friends and everyone who's our fellow tweeples out there.
Tweeples?
Tweeples. Tweeps.
Nice.
I spell it differently every time. But you know what? I know you've experienced this. Social media.
Mm-hmm.
Can't give enough thanks to people out there. Right. Connect with us. That's how we get hold of their music and their message and everything they have to offer. That's how we got a hold of each other right here.
Right.
Otherwise, how would we know? You would have to read Variety. Oh, no, I shouldn't have plugged that one. Get no royalties from them. But I know you got some big plans, and we look forward to having you back on the show. And thank you for bringing your songs. Oh, yeah, real quick question: how big is your library right now? How many songs you have already complete?
I think about 50.
50 songs.
Right.
Wow.
There's a lot. My main goal is just to get all that mixed and mastered and start working from there. That's the big one this year.
Nice. And have a CD, something on Reverb Nation and iTunes and all that. Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah,
for this year?
To break loose.
Hey, fantastic. Hey, that's what it's about, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Jason, again, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is The In Show, and you've been listening to Gus Summers and the great music of Jason Arias. And be sure to look for us online at theinshow.com. Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those great social media sites. And, of course, we have a blog going, so we got several blogs. Definitely look for those. I know there's a little bit of something for everyone. All right, so you hang in there, and we'll catch you next time.